Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Happy Wednesday, guys. Middle of the week. I think it's just kind of a run-of-the-mill Wednesday. Nothing really going on in markets. Just kidding. As the title would...
I was like, what is this dude talking about? It's Liberation Day.
Liberation Day.
As the title highlights, guys, it is Liberation Day, or at the very least, that's kind of what the powers that be have been kind of nicknaming April 2nd, right, as kind of the day where we see these tariffs imposed or not imposed. I guess, we can talk about that as well. It seems as though there's going to be a lot of different kinds of headlines throughout the day. We mentioned yesterday there's probably going to be a lot of local volatility around this area, and we'll see how the market digests it. But we're going to get all into all that here and more in just a second. First, guys, I'm Tommy. You also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, and Moisturized Jackus today. Welcome to you all as well. Before we can get into the charts, right, because it seems as though we are going from red to green on the morning. I'm sure there will be I'm sure there's going to be more flip-flopping as the headlines kind of roll out throughout the day. For example, we got a -1 from China, but we got a positive, seemingly, headline from Canada and Mexico. It's so funny that I'm talking about this morning, but I'm going to need you guys to hit the like button for us. We're going to cook for you no matter what. But if I have to see soybeans today, I am not going to be very happy. Please don't make us show soybeans. And we have threatened the soybeans for the last few shows. I think we might actually have to do it today if the like button is not properly smashed, obliterated, annihilated. And like I always say, any verb or adjective you need to justify hitting that like button, we are very, very appreciative. But yeah, let's get into more serious topics like the market, right? I mean, I did say we kind of went from like pretty deep red now back to green. Maybe we've seen this a few times, just like all of this volatility in equity markets specifically, where we will go green or red by 1% or more at the open, and then just flip throughout the day. There's been so much local volatility in these markets. And obviously, crypto, Bitcoin specifically, is going to be a lot more afflicted by some of that volatility. We have no idea what headlines are going to come out. Like I said, there was news about China that wasn't necessarily positive. They don't want their companies to invest in U.S. markets. But at the same time, it seems like Canada and Mexico are not going to be really pushing back on tariffs. I don't know if I think it's all that important, but I do think we're kind of seeing this market continue to absorb bad news with lower and lower impact on price, which is typically what you see fairly close to trend reversals, which we have been discussing for obviously, what has it been, like 2 or 3 weeks now, that we've kind of been chopping around these current prices, waiting for the larger trending move that's likely to come at some point this quarter. Is it going to happen now? I don't know. I guess we'll see. But we certainly I'm guessing we have a lot of fuel currently cooked into the market in either direction, depending on just kind of, again, how this market continues to digest this tariff information, the positioning around it, which we always say is far more important than the actual news itself. But I'd love to know what you guys are seeing. I know that Bitcoin is a lot more green than ETH is today. I'm sure we'll do a little bit of picking on ETH today, but I'm really not that bearish on ETH here. With that said, so I just wanted to get that little cheap shot in to start the show, because I probably won't be taking more of them throughout. But how are we doing, guys? What are we seeing in the markets? Do we have any thoughts on Liberation Day or the positioning around it?
Tucker looks like he wants to say something.
Max, are you feeling liberated?
Feeling liquidated. Happy Liquidation Day, everybody.
Oh, man.
Nah, I mean, I guess we'll just we'll have to wait and see, because I think there is an overwhelming amount of headline risk today. Maybe it's good headlines, maybe it's bad. I like the structure that I'm seeing here more than anything. I think that Bitcoin looks really good. Who really cares what ETH looks like? Because we know if Bitcoin clears that last high, I think it's at like maybe 87.5, 88, something like that. If Bitcoin can get above that level, then I think you're going to see a rotation into beta, right? But until then, you just kind of have to wait and see what the headline risk is going to be. It seems like, and we've been talking about this, the market has been pricing in the worst case scenario with these tariffs for equities, for crypto, for risk across the board. So, and naturally that makes sense, right? We've seen some really inflammatory kind of headlines over the past few weeks. So if they end up on Liberation Day being, not as bad as we thought, then I think it's natural to expect that structure looks good here. Positioning is certainly skewed to the downside because it's been pricing in a worst case scenario that didn't end up materializing. And if that happens, I think we can float quite a bit higher. So I love the structure here. But again, job's not finished. Those are my initial thoughts.
Job's not finished. I agree.
Now you sound like Paul.
Finished,
Me?
Yeah.
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 He was always like, job's not finished. Inflation is not under control.
The Fed remains committed to its long-term target of 2% headline. We will use
We
the
are-
tools at our disposal.
And we are data dependent.
You know, I
we're
don't
data
hate
dependent.
I don't hate talking about some macro catalyst that's not like NFP or FOMC, though. I have to say.
Yeah,
That's
it's nice
true.
to get a little mix up here. And hey, what if Liberation Day has a little surprise? Tucker told me he was speaking with some insiders at the White House, and it's been confirmed that the IRS is officially being abolished today. That's what Tucker told me.
That was yesterday though, Max. So you're gonna have to.
Oh, they
study it.
changed it this morning. They're actually increasing taxes now. So,
Well, you know what yesterday was, right?
April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, Tucker. Dang, dude. Had me all
No,
excited.
I texted my wife that she was at work yesterday. I texted her that Trump was abolishing taxes and that we were gonna just use the ERS, the external revenues. First of all, she didn't know what I was talking about, but
She was like,
I
just
was
bring the money
trying.
home, man.
Yeah, I was trying to make an April Fool's joke, but it went over her head.
Wrong audience.
Yeah, it did.
It's like that. It's like that where you were Mr. Krabs and she was SpongeBob. You know that meme where they're sitting around the fire while Mr. Krabs is like ranting.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it was that.
She's like, "Are you okay? Do you need medication? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Apparently, as well, Musk will be stepping back from his role in the administration. So maybe that's good for Tesla. I guess we'll see how the market responds.
I mean, Tesla looks pretty good.
Tesla looks pretty good down here, man.
Why would he step out?
Probably because they're burning Tesla dealerships. Bunch of freaks, man.
Yeah, freaks for sure. Terrorists. That's
They're
what
like,
they are.
"Oh, we don't like this guy. Let's just like burn his business down." It's so weird, man.
Just belong to jail. It is what it is.
Yeah.
In the old days, they would cut their hands and it would be it.
No one would have done it because they would have cut their hands.
Yeah.
But now they're like, "Ooh, it's a peaceful protest of Molotov cocktails at Tesla dealerships."
Oh my god.
Tesla looks pretty good. I like that. Tommy, did you play this bounce?
I mean, I'm still holding those calls for Friday, so we'll see what happens. I'm really still expecting markets to put in a nice like short covering rally here that catches a lot of late bears off guard. Just
so higher
business.
prices.
Just business.
Buy my shitcoin, Tommy.
When you say that, I always hear Justin Sun
I know.
in his voice. Buy my shitcoin.
Jackus, is Justin Sun alive? I've heard conspiracies that he's not actually like alive, or
What?
that he's not a real person.
Is he AI?
No, he might just have been like he might have just passed away over the last few years, and nobody actually knows.
What?
Tommy, is that real?
I mean, that's like a deep. Okay, I'll just silence myself. That's like a deep conspiracy. I didn't think the
I mean, that
screen
was
was
the
ready for it.
smoothest brain thing I've ever heard. out of
I mean,
you.
how do you
Wow.
believe that, but then also believe the dinosaurs are real?
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
go.
Oh
a
my
question.
god.
That's a fair question.
Tucker's like, answer the question, Tommy.
Answer the question, Tom.
No, I really do like, on a more serious note, I like the short covering bounces on indices across the board. I don't know if I'm quite expecting all-time highs, but, returns to like 505, 510 on the Qs, or like 5,900 on the S&P, maybe 44,000 on the Dow Jones. Like these would be very big rallies in equities across the board that would really kind of incinerate some of these hedging or these hedges and these put positions that have been just like piled on over the last few weeks.
5,900 on the S&P.
So, Tommy, is it safe to assume that if you're calling out those potential bounce numbers for indexes, is it also fair to assume that you think Bitcoin could be over 90K?
Yes, I think 100K is on the table. If you can get above that, obviously all-time highs would be on the table, but those all-time highs aren't my expectation. I do think like 100 is very doable.
My personal counter to that. So I think we also go up, but I do not think we can go to 100K and then go down. I think the moment we hit above 100K again, we go to new all-time highs. So I think that we go up here, as I was saying, but I think we go to like 93, 94, maybe 96, but not 100.
I tend to agree that if we hit 100, we're probably hitting all-time highs. But I wouldn't be expecting like aggressive price discovery if that were the case.
So like above
Yeah.
that box jacket. So like, yeah, if you get above here, you're going.
Yes.
Is there a level? I guess okay, Jack has kind of answered it. I was going to say, Tommy, is there a level that if we hit it for you, you'd be like, all right, this is not a shoulder anymore? Like, is it all-time highs or is it a level before all-time highs?
I mean, I think it's just kind of something that I'd have to feel out. I've been kind of saying for a while, whether it materializes into a shoulder, whether it materializes into aggressive price discovery, obviously those things are path dependent. They can change my bias, but I want to have exposure at these levels, either way. But I would just say my opinion on the macro, which I hate that I actually have to say that again, but my opinion on the macro is that equities are going to put in, maybe equities put in another all-time high. I'm really skeptical on that personally, but I think you're going to get a big short covering rally. Bitcoin's been largely correlated with equities. They're going to look somewhat structurally similar. I guess like if we're just ripping into aggressive price discovery, that would change my bias. But in either case, I'm going to try to be holding on to some of this beta exposure that we've been accumulating down here for either scenario. At least that's how I'm picturing.
Did someone say
playing.
beta?
Data.
Did someone say beta?
Oh, beta.
Dude, I really I think if Bitcoin can clear, well, I really like Tucker's trend line there too. I think it, not to be annoying about it, I think it is just kind of a level to level thing for right now. But, and this is Bitcoin SPX, but like if you can start clearing those highs that Tucker has on the pair, and then also like Bitcoin USD starts getting above like 88, 89, I really do think like upper 90s is on the table. And then from there, it just kind of comes down to like, we're probably going to pull back. And then the question is, do we bounce into like a higher low or do we shoulder it, right? So I don't think anybody knows for sure because it is a vulnerable structure. Like you have supply overhead, there's no question about it. There's certainly going to be some profit taking if we do pop here a bit across the board. And by the way, like Bitcoin could go to 92, 93, and you could see some of these beta tickers literally rip like 100% during that time period. Like that's kind of my expectation is a lot of these beaten down minus 90% alts are going to like 2 or even 3x when Bitcoin stabs higher here, even if it does result in rolling over into a shoulder, which we'll assess that when it happens, if and when it happens. But I mean, shorting some of these alts down here, like I'm seeing a lot of people, and I think I just need to kind of clean up my timeline a bit. A lot of people are just like piling in on altcoin shorts and altcoin bearishness because they're conflating like a local feeling of like emotions, overcoming them right now with a high time frame structure. They're going, oh, it's down so bad right now, we're doomed, it'll never come back. I might as well just like talk shit about it and get bearish, right? Or position short or sell. Where I think that's like Tommy, you said earlier, I think this is that period where late bears are going to get destroyed. And even if they end up being right on like their bias, it's all coming down to positioning. They're positioning at the wrong time. When alts are down minus 90% and Bitcoin's going to put in a bounce, that is not when you want to be getting bearish on altcoins. Not at all. That's when you get obliterated because some of them can rally 2 or 3x and still be down 30 or 50% from their highs. I mean, you're going to get absolutely blown up.
I made this mistake in 2022, and it might not be a bear market like again, but behaviorally, what Max just described, it's like when we've had a 4-month downtrend, I think it's just very easy for people, especially who have lost significant sums of money trying to play to the long side, to want to be negative towards the end of the trend. Because a lot of the beliefs that led you to be so optimistic and then also hold through that drawdown are kind of just like thrown in your face. I think it's really easy to get negative on an asset class after that happened and want to short it to make it back, and you just end up wrecking yourself a second time. But I mean, bears, even I think early bears to the trend will maybe get too lost in the sauce that crypto is literally going to go to zero with no bounces, and they usually fuel these squeezes.
87K.
You know what I think is about to rip face in a big way and surprise a lot of people? The frog, baby. The frog.
I know you got chart, Max. Let's see it.
Tucker, I live in the Pepe chart, brother. I am one with the frogs chart. I have nothing but charts. But how are the likes doing? I kind of feel like Jack is today. I want to share a chart. But maybe I'll share.
They've been getting away with it for the last few shows, Max. We need to make them actually hit the button today.
No. Last quarter, pretty much.
Yeah,
we've been really, really lenient and forgiving because of how down bad the market's been. We're like, you know what? We're just happy people are still showing up. Like, this market sucks. But now, doesn't suck as much. It's starting to look good. Which means, Tucker, would you do me the honor and the courtesy of pulling up lean hog futures? I'd love to check in on the pigs.
Oh, man.
It's been a while.
That's been a while.
It's been a while. I haven't seen a lean hog futures chart, and I know you pay extra for it.
I do. No, well, it's the rubber one, actually. The rubber, you have to pay extra.
Would you maybe pair lean hogs against rubber for me? I'm curious if it's a good time to accumulate pigs or rubber right now. I'm sitting on a bunch of hogs and a bunch of tires, and I want to know which one I should swap.
Rubber or you? That's the one you pay.
That's the one. That's the one you pay extra for.
Yeah.
Looks a little distributive to me, honestly. Just a little bit. Like I kind of think it might be a good time to sell some hogs into rubber, personally.
I could see that.
Yeah. Like I mean, I could always use some new tires for my truck or something, and I've got plenty of hogs laying around.
Who's quoting me spreads for all the bacon in my freezer? I would like to swap for its value.
I need to have a conversation with my local co-op, man. Prices are too high. They're coming down.
Do you think Squid Router can help with this?
Ooh, are there squid futures? Do we have any seafood futures, Tucker? Is that a real thing? Like shrimp?
Shrimp farming futures?
There must be a seafood.
Oh god.
There must be seafood futures, right? There has to be something.
Oh, European salmon.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Pull it up. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Dev pulled the liquidity on salmon futures.
What's another?
How are the likes doing, man? How are they doing? 143. Let's get to 150, guys. Give me
Weather?
7 more likes and we can get off of this and talk about frogs. All
You
right.
can do weather, building
Salmon.
materials,
Salmon.
glass.
I can't believe that's on TradingView.
I love salmon, but it's pretty expensive lately, not gonna lie. I suppose people are not buying anymore.
Yeah. All right, let's see. 150. All right, 154. That's enough pain for today, guys. That's enough pain. Let me get on the buttons. Okay. Guys, I'm going to talk to you about Pepe for a second here. And by a second, I mean maybe 3 hours. All right. I think a lot of people are looking at this chart here, and I think that they're looking at it the wrong way. I think they're going, oh, we had a top here. Oh, we had a top here. And oh, we had a top here. And they're viewing these as like 3 separate tops and somehow viewing this as distributive. When the way that I view it is more of the following. We could maybe draw like a volume profile, but I really think like this is kind of your range. All right. With some deviations, right? Let me even see what a volume profile looks like here quick. I'm curious. I haven't done it. But I'm actually curious, like from this high through, that's exactly what I wanted it to look like. That's exactly what I wanted it to look like. This right here, despite some deviations both down and up, multiple down and up. We'll add these on there. Deviation down, deviation up, some big, some small, right? This entire region up here is one massive reaccumulation. My system, my Volume Fusion Pro system, proprietary TM, is telling me that this is one giant reaccumulation. And you don't need that indicator to look at this. You can say, we have been up here for over a year. We entered this range, this value, March 3rd of last year. It's been 13 months. Okay. This is one giant reaccumulation, similarly to how this was one giant reaccumulation. Hang on now. Similarly to how this was one giant reaccumulation right here. Okay, we could modify it a little bit, but you get the point. Reaccumulation, pump, reaccumulation. We're going to pump. Now let me show you with my little system down here, okay? There's your low. There's like your floor, okay? That's your bottom. Now let me show you. Let me show you how this works. We're going to mark this as, I don't like purple. We'll go like teal, okay? We're going to mark these breakouts right here, okay? You get a nice little move, okay? Volume starts creeping up, more buyers than sellers, you get a little pump. We're going to go through a few examples here. Again, hopefully you guys can see this down here. It's a little bit small. Can you guys see what I'm drawing? Okay, I feel like the colors should help. But volume starts breaking up, compression, more buyers than sellers, you get a little bit of a pump. Same thing over here, right? This little tiny compression here led to this giant move. You don't know the size of the move, but you know a move is brewing when you get these compressions, okay? Same thing like over here, right? Even before the Coinbase listing, right? Oh, it was a catalyst, Max. Yeah, but volume was telling you before that something was happening. Somebody was accumulating, somebody was buying, okay? Now, we have one giant. This is the mega accumulation that I'm talking about. We're going to put this in red. Do you see all these little breakouts that occur here in blue? What we're seeing right here is why I'm telling you this is one giant reaccumulation. This is one giant volume compression right here. Ignore the fact that this is a high, this is a high, this is a high, this is a low, low, low. This is your value. These are deviations of value, right? This is your real reaccumulation. And you go through periods of, you're over, you're outside it both ways, okay? You're in one giant reaccumulation. When Pepe breaks out of this one, this is the biggest reaccumulation that we've ever seen. Bigger than every other little pop we've had on Pepe. And by the way, some of these little pops here are 200%. Like this is a 200% move right here. These are huge moves. These are not little tiny moves. I'm in log mode. When we break out of this compression right here, this is when your route to 50 billion begins, whenever it happens, okay? Whenever it happens. It's possible we could do something like this. Maybe we reject and we come back down and then we do it over here. I don't know. I don't care. I'm holding. I'm patient. But I know I can confirm with volume that this is a reaccumulation and not a distribution. So I really think Pepe is getting ready to melt face in a huge, huge, huge way. This is a reaccumulation. I can confirm that this is a reaccumulation. This is more probabilistically a reaccumulation of a lifetime on Pepe rather than, some monster distribution. So anyways, Pepe going up. Pepe looks really good. What do you guys think? Do we like it? Do we not like it? Because I love it. I'm getting very excited here. We're getting to the end of this little reaccumulation.
Oh my
Oh my God.
I was
Jack.
like, what is that?
I will say I haven't really been paying as close of attention to Pepe beyond the fact that it has been showing, I felt like, a lot of resilience as early as last week against the broader market, but also the lower time frame on Pepe. I'm sure you guys have noticed this. It's kind of become like total churn for perps. Like some of these reversions that you get on a lower time frame on Pepe are just so aggressive that I know it's probably somebody like Wintermute or Binance just harvesting everybody, trying to catch a high leverage position on it.
For sure. There's a lot of people that are doing that. But also something that maybe is contributing to that a little bit is there were a lot of shorts that hit the tape right over here on this last push down. We can pull up. This is like, here, we'll just pull up some OI. This doesn't tell you everything, but it can paint the picture pretty clearly. Oops. There were a lot of shorts that came in over here. So like, here's aggregated open interest. You can see pretty clearly on this last leg down, open interest was rocketing higher. And look at what was happening to price. These are certainly not all going to be shorts, but I think it's a fair assumption that a decent bit of them were shorts. And a lot of this, now that we're seeing open interest now closing and prices floating higher, is people getting out of these bottom shorts right here. I think that's a fair assumption, but I don't know. Maybe you guys would disagree. That's how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah, what does spot look like? Is that the middle one for spot?
This is spot, but it's kind of a custom thing that I made, so it's not like CVD or something, but it is like when it's moving up, there's more buyers than sellers. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it definitely seems like this move that it's had so far has been a lot of short covering, probably a lot of people hedging for further downside into support, and it didn't materialize, so they're taking profit on the position. like I said, I don't have too strong an opinion on it, but it's holding the value area low that you've got marked out, which is ultimately most important on the higher time frame. And if Bitcoin can continue this move, right now we have Bitcoin dominance going parabolic almost. It's up almost, well, parabolic for Bitcoin dominance is like half a percent to 1% on any given day. So this is a pretty big move for Bitcoin dominance. I have to imagine when Bitcoin is finished rallying wherever something like Pepe is going to be probably catching that catch-up bid.
The thing that I like the most about Pepe is that, yes, it's ETH beta at its core, but it really doesn't need much out of ETH to cook. So, like, here's ETH down below. If we look at some of these moves that it's had, I mean, for example, let's just look at this one. ETH is in a range right here. From range low to range high, it was like a 16% range on ETH. During that same period of time, from that same low until when ETH actually broke out, Pepe went up 200%. Like, it really doesn't take much out of the alpha to pump the beta in this instance. So I think for ETH, right, and I think a lot of us are potentially prospecting like ETH back in this range at some point, right? Maybe, I mean, I think above range high here is possible. Like, I literally think ETH could rally like 60% here. I think if this is a deviation and if you're back in the range, I think you're gonna, put in a symmetrical deviation to the top side here. I think that we have enough evidence at this point to show that Pepe really could put in like a 200% ripper, truthfully, just off of ETH being range bound, because it's a big range this time. Doesn't have to happen exactly like that, but I think we do have some evidence to show that it's certainly possible. So like ETH back above 2100, like I genuinely think Pepe is going to be like multiples higher than here. I think it's going to rip. I think it's going to be the first thing that people pile into as a catch-up trade, because you can size into it. You can trade it anywhere. It's got perps. Like, it's so beaten down right now, but despite it being beaten down, it's still one of the few tickers that actually is outperforming Bitcoin this cycle from 2023 bear market lows to where it's at now. It's holding its high time frame structure, value area. It's been reaccumulating here for over a year. I don't really see what's not appealing about it. I think it's going to be the first choice for many, personally. Max has ruined this channel with this Pepe Maxi crap. Can't wait till he gets his moon and dumps so he can talk more reality like Jackus. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the kind words. It makes my heart so warm that it beats through my chest. Thank you for your support. It does not go unnoticed. It's crazy, man, because it's like, even despite my Pepe Maxi crap, we're still outperforming Bitcoin this entire cycle. And it's been one of the best trades. But yeah, I guess, should probably stop covering it, Anyone feel free to join in. No worries.
Max, where is Pepe at the end of April?
400 trillion? I don't know.
400 trillion.
I mean, end of April. I mean, the question is, where does ETH go then? I mean,
Exactly.
I would think Pepe could be 60 to 100% higher than here if ETH gets back in the range. If ETH doesn't get back in the range, then we're probably just going to chop around value right here. Like,
What
value
are you
or low.
considering? Are you saying what, 2200? Like,
Well,
as the low of ETH range?
Well, let's look at it like this. Let's actually do this. So let's actually pull up the Pepe ETH pair. Oh crap, that's not what I wanted to do.
I think ETH can hit like 2,800 this month. I really do.
2,800.
Yeah, in April.
Wow.
So here's the Pepe ETH pair, which is currently breaking out, by the way. So I'm just going to be on my Pepe Maxi crap for a little bit. I know you meant it as an insult, but I actually take it as a compliment because it's been like the best performing asset this entire cycle. But this is Pepe ETH on the right. So I think like let's just kind of extrapolate this out a little bit. So let's just use Tommy's level 2,800, which is right here, basically. Okay. So if ETH from right here roughly goes up 45%, and if Pepe ETH looks like this, and for what it's worth, I think we could take out these highs and even retest like, so I view this as a range right here. I actually think it can make a new high. I think this is actually a pretty clear range. It's got a nice mid range as well. Let me throw it in log mode. So this is our range on Pepe ETH, and it's trying to break out, right? It's doing something. So if we think that ETH could go up 46%, and if I think that we can go up, 2x on Pepe ETH, then you just multiply these out against each other, right? So it's like if ETH is going to go up 46%, and I think this pair is going to, basically double, right? Then it's like just basically double what ETH does. That's 100% move potentially on Pepe. So from right here, roughly 100% could be, right up in here, right? Just kind of extrapolating it out on what is hypothetically possible if this pair moves up and ETH goes to 2,800, right? So there's a lot of conditionals here. There's a ton of conditionals. But if something happens and we could prospect that triggering something else to happen, then I think you could see Pepe put in like 100% from here. If ETH goes to 2,800 and if this breakout holds for Pepe ETH. Hopefully that answers your question, Tucker. A lot of ifs, but
A lot of ifs, but it does look like how you talk about Pepe ETH looking like it wants to break out. This is kind of the same as like the SPX BTC chart, honestly.
a lot of beta alpha. A lot of beta alpha looks good.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. I don't know what that currency is. THB. Full support on Max and the BB team generally. Pepe and its beta performed extremely well. People should take full accountability for their investments. BB is trying its best to deliver as much value as possible for free. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words. And thank you for tuning in.
I think that could be Thailand bots, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments.
How did you just pull that out of nowhere, Jackus?
Well, I'm a currency enjoyer.
I think it looks like
But I could be wrong.
$11.73 US dollars. Just over $10.
And so
Thank
what
you.
currency is it? Is it what I said?
Something Thai something.
Should be Thailand bots.
Speaking of currencies, we should be looking at FDUSD. Been a long time since we've looked at that.
Why, Tommy? Do you have a chart?
No, I just think we should look at it.
Okay,
Tucker,
man.
you're back. You're back. You're
I
back
know.
in a big way.
I had Bitcoin dominance pulled up. It's
We can come
terrible.
back to dominance.
We'll come back to it. All right. So what? Just FDUSD or like BTC
FDUSD.
market cap?
Now do the
Like USDT or something?
yeah, or like the pegged one to the crypto one. Just USD. Okay, that works too.
Tommy.
Oh no.
Load the Binance FUD.
Wow.
When did it happen? Just now?
Yeah, Justin Sun says they're probably insolvent and to get out, and then they started nuking it.
Wait, who's insolvent?
There it is.
Binance?
At First Digital.
Oh,
First
it's down like
Digital
5%, it looks like.
Well, it went down 13%, right?
More
Wait,
stable coin FUD.
wait. Didn't you just say that Justin Sun is missing? At the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I did. I mean, who knows if it's actually the real Justin Sun? Not that that's important, but some PvP perhaps going on here between Justin and Binance. But I mean, we all kind of knew that this was a complete fugazi. They used this for a while to pump the market. Look at Bitcoin FDUSD. Very conveniently timed beginning for that pair.
Whoa.
What's the market cap of FDUSD?
It's like 2 billion.
Let's see. Wait,
Okay, so it's not even close to Tether or USDC.
2.5 billion. Yeah. Well, what is like
More systemic risk. Good.
this is the CZ Justin Sun pair. TRX and BNB.
Look where the BTC FDUSD chart topped.
98.
98.9, yeah. I like those thoughts.
Soon.
Yeah,
Study crime.
right there. Wow.
Well, you can either make very easy 5% from here or just get completely wrecked. Pick your winner.
That's crazy. Well, it's sitting at 91 right now.
Yeah, I meant on the FDUSD USDT trade. You can just
Yeah.
you can just play the support guy and make money on it, or but as Tommy says, will you bet against the Godfather?
Damn, I wish I had denominated my Bitcoin in FDUSD.
What do you think about this chart?
It's definitely an interesting one. I mean, Binance, I feel like it's just not a great signal that Binance is sending, that kind of like this Fugazi stablecoin that Binance and Wintermute use to as like plunge protection for the market for months is insolvent, but you know, it could be nothing. Tucker, can you look at Bitcoin FDUSD real quick?
Mm-hmm.
You guys will love. I remember you guys might remember this. Look at when this pair started.
Yeah. 25K.
Study crime.
Yeah. Right at 30K.
Guys, are we liberated?
I think he announces the tariff stuff at like what is it, like 4 Eastern today. So that's really the headline.
Will we see a Dar Small?
Probably. Yeah, probably. That's crazy. You know what that reminds me of though?
I have few in mind. I've seen it a few times.
Even though it's not the same, that reminds me of the Cointelegraph intern tweet.
I hope so. I have also won BTC USDT in 2018.
2018, that's not a good sign.
No, it's been the 6K range, and then if you zoom in on the daily, go on a daily to 2018. That was exactly when the Tether FUD hit, and just use the plus function. Use the plus function.
About this.
Yeah, of course. Use the plus function, and add Coinbase USD chart.
Bitcoin.
BTC USD, and use the Coinbase one, and that's exactly what happened. you had the USDT chart going as high as like that high from August
Mhm.
or September, and the USD didn't. And that when this happened, lots of folks saw that like, oh, BTC is pumping, this is finally the bottom, and then few weeks of range and then annihilation. I hope this is not the case, but it was also stablecoin FUD. That was Tether FUD, and it was the largest one we had yet. And Tether traded back down to 90 cents, and it traded there for a while. It took a while before it retraded. Maybe you can add the plus function again and just add USDT versus USD or something like that.
I think the real test for these stable coins is going to be when the yen carry unwinds, maybe later this year, maybe in 2026, but it's coming.
We need to find try the USDT USDC maybe. I know it's on one chart, like you can easily, or maybe it's just USD USDT on Binance. Try USD USDT. No, that's not the one. It's not the one, but it's somewhere. I know it. Wait, I'll try it on my end to help you out. Should be the one from Kraken. You found it, yeah. So if you will look, that was the largest deviation from the $1 peg on Tether that there ever was, and most of you guys don't remember it. I remember it because it was live back then for me. That was scary. Like, do you know the guy Peter Brandt on Twitter?
Yeah, he's the TA guy. He's like a.
Oh, never mind. I saw that you are gonna continue. So he fought it Tether like every single day, and that's when I was in stables right back then, and and I was so scared. Like I was like, all right, I'm safe holding stables, and then I saw Tether trade down to like 90 cents, and I was like, what is going on? And then this guy on Twitter, he just flooded my stable coins, and I was like, what do I do now? Do I buy Bitcoin back at extreme premium, or what's going on? Because as a retail, you cannot really know what's going on. But
Dude, stablecoin FUD is the worst. I remember back when Silicon Valley Bank went down, and USDC was trading at like a 5-cent discount or something like that, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a bunch of money in stable coins at the time. Like I wasn't that deployed yet. I was working on it. But I remember having 6 figures in like USDC, and now suddenly it's trading, 5 cents off of a $1 peg.
Yeah.
And I remember I messaged Wabi, and I was like, Wabi, is this shit going down? Like, is this shit going down? And he was just like, man, I don't know, but like, if it goes to 0, like we're cooked. And I was just like, I can't do this shit, man. I was like, I'd rather take a 5% loss than 100% loss, because at the time, like, you don't really know. I mean, there was pretty good evidence to show like only 5% of their their treasury was affected. But I was like, man, I can't be that guy that loses that much money in a stable coin. So I took the loss. I swapped out at like a 5-cent discount, just right into Tether. Slept great. But then obviously it bounced back, and I'm like, well, I just burned thousands of dollars. But stablecoin FUD's the worst. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, we could have just made easy 5% on the FD USD USDT trade, but it seems it's gone now.
It's terrible RR though. If you think about it, it's terrible RR, man. It's like, to make 5%, you can risk no, it's horrible RR. Unless you
is-
could lever up on it, you know.
This
but-
is usually what stablecoin depegs look like, though. Potentially, is you get a retrace of kind of that initial move down, and then we kind of see if they're going to repeg it or not.
Yeah, it's true.
I love how Justin's son just like dropped that tweet and was like, "Deal with it, grenade." You know.
As if you didn't have enough, guys. Here we go.
You mean this? You mean this? Like that's what you're saying?
That's probably Justin's son stepping on some market makers' heads while they're drowning. Because I mean, I'm sure you guys. We were talking about it earlier this week. Binance kind of changed some of their capital and margin requirements, which is why a ton of altcoins were just getting sold off into relentlessly and very randomly. And so I'm sure they were already maybe a little bit constrained on liquidity. And Justin's son said, "Oh, well, that's tough because I'm going to do this now too."
Indeed.
Maybe just a power play for Tether. Who knows? Because Tron is like the biggest holder of Tether, I'm pretty sure.
And they just banned Tether from Europe, by the way.
I saw that.
Did they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, like, I mean, Tether is becoming important strategically for the United States at this point because they have so many U.S. treasuries.
Yeah. Well, all of those Binance chart drops that we saw, that literally happened on the day when Tether was banned. I'm not saying it's due to it, but it's a suspicious timing.
It is suspicious timing.
I mean,
We should-
this
We
looks
should go
pretty-
fill that wick, though, on FDUSD. If somebody got to sell 98, 99K Bitcoin, I think we should too.
Yeah.
I mean,
should.
It's only fair.
this one didn't. Like, is that what we're saying? You know?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if we're about to have like that style move on Bitcoin, but I guess we'd see in the next few weeks.
No, I don't either.
Have you can you go on BTC USDT chart on Binance US, Tucker?
Wait, what? Say that again.
BTC USDT, so Bitcoin Tether on
Mhm.
on Binance US.
Yeah, that's this.
Binance US.
Oh, Binance US. USDT, yeah.
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we
Just scroll down and then zoom out.
Oh, I remember.
You know
Go
what's
on
crazy
weekly-
is that
weekly.
that wick is gonna actually end up playing. You know, like we'll hit it, we'll sweep it, and then we'll like reject big time. Everyone will be like, why are we rejecting? And then be like, look at the Binance US chart. Perfect sweep.
Weekly. That's also, by the way, when FDUSD went live, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Go-
it was
you-
just
you-
before. It was just before.
Use the plus function and type BTC FDUSD T USD.
Oh wait.
It's a great reminder if you're ever having liquidity issues, just print a new stablecoin out of thin air.
B.
This one?
Do we make a stable coin?
I think so.
It's this one, Jackus. Yeah. So it
Okay.
wasn't live yet, but it was close.
So that was the time when they banned Binance US. When did they ban Binance US? There was a crime too, wasn't it?
When did they ban Binance US? I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it banned?
Yeah.
Well, Binance US is banned in US.
Oh, in US. Okay.
So
Tucker's like,
they
wait, I
for-
still have all my money in Binance US. No one told me.
There's still a chart.
3 years later. Yeah, it is, but you cannot effectively trader, I think, or I'm not sure how exactly it works. I just know that, like, obviously, Binance is the biggest exchange, but they had like 80% market share, and then everyone started to go at them, and they had to close Binance trading, and they basically started Binance US. So the CZ always said, hey, this is a separate entity, totally different company, everything's different there. There is no connection. Well, obviously there probably was, but then they said you cannot have Binance US either, and they had to close it. And I think that was somewhere 2023. Oh, it was after FTX.
I mean, this was summer 23, right when FDUSD went live. So maybe it was the same time.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, do you think this was in response to them shutting down Binance US in the US?
Could be. It could be.
That's about the same time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin didn't go up because of that, because if you compare BTC to Max 7 stocks, you would see that they move the same, but something for sure happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Something is afoot.
How does TRX look? Because I think Louis pointed it out that TRX USD was looking kind of good, but I haven't followed up on it.
We discussed it a few times with Tommy, and it's just like no idea what to think of the chart. Because
Dude, it looks like there's crime brewing, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's like a coin toss, this chart can go like all these other scam charts to like 16 cents the next day, or it can be 35 cents, and you don't know.
It looks like it's going to just squeeze the all-time highs and then retrace the whole thing
in a single hour.
I have that speculation that it's going to randomly squeeze to $1 and go to 0, but
and then go to 0.
That's basically like my tinfoil hat with the whole Justin Sun thing.
Well, they squeeze it to $1, announce that he's dead, and then it goes to 0.
I think they would just squeeze it to $1 to try and like save the all the tether on Tron network, and then it's like, well, Tron is controlled by complete crime and scamming, so who knows? Then they'll start selling the Tron to save tether. That's just a guess, though.
Well, truth be told, like you actually need TRX to send Tether. And we know that the demand for Tether is growing exponentially all around the world. So it would make sense that you will have a rising TRX because of that.
Because what could happen is if there is ever like liquidity concerns in crypto, obviously the tether that is on Tron is going to be the most important. So you'd probably see a bunch of inflows that would pump Tron until they could get most of that tether collateral off, and then they would just send Tron to 0. That's like a very, very tinfoil hat theory. Basically, I don't want to touch this coin.
Yeah.
Crime is going to be committed.
That's a crazy chart.
I find it crazy how it just kept going up this entire cycle. Well, if you bought, what's funny thing? If you bought TRX, you have outperformed Bitcoin for, unless you made like a completely stupid buy, you have outperformed it since the inception.
Whoa, that actually doesn't look bad, too. I don't know how confident I am in anything sustainable, but like it doesn't look how I thought it would.
Yeah, Tron is an enigma, honestly. I really tried to develop some more nuanced thoughts on it. and it's just very, very hard because I feel like there's just so much activity driving price that we can't actually see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure if like everything pumps, it'll do well, but I'd rather own other things.
What do we think about the VIX, Tommy?
Coming down,
Coming down?
coming down.
Coming down.
I don't love like this, you know.
Yeah, it'll probably be worth paying attention to if we come back into to kind of like that trend. But if that trend breaks down, then I do think you have like the argument that we could revisit all-time highs or close to it. Maybe we get some like sort of deviation below that. But I'm gonna continue to maintain. I think volatility is gonna carry really well this year. So like these structured product ETFs that you can invest in, I think that they will hold their floors instead of just relentlessly bleeding out like we often see.
Do you know what's not going to hold its floor?
Huh.
The like button.
So
Well,
yeah.
that's
the
definitely
dominant.
not. But this fucking-
Oh, I got it right.
this thing is cooked, man.
USDT.
It looks vulnerable here.
Max, you drew the log trend, didn't you?
No, this is linear. This is log. This is linear.
Okay.
It's linear.
Oh.
Such a log hater, man. I can't believe.
No, I just assumed, Max. I know you like the log trend on USDTD.
I love log, bro. I love
Oh, that's
log.
Oh, you're on the 4 hour. Okay.
Yeah, this is low. This is like a
Oh,
local trend, which is like giving me
Okay.
some confidence if we can break this trend line.
Hold on.
We could squeeze pretty good here.
There is also FDUSD dominance chart.
God.
I didn't know. I just checked.
I wonder if all of that FDUSD just went straight into Bitcoin today.
It could have.
Well, I would tend to think it was otherwise. FDUSD, sorry, BTC FDUSD pumped, and people sold Bitcoin into FDUSD, and they will rebuy the Bitcoin again now. Jesus, USDC dominance spiked a lot, way harder than.
Got to
Ether.
pump those metrics into the Circle IPO.
Dude, go on USDC dominance chart.
Me?
Anyone? Wait. I have totally different chart.
Are you talking about market cap or dominance?
Oh, and zoom out obviously on a weekly. It's like what do you guys think of those three lows?
These
can-
right here.
You can keep no. You can keep these.
Time to sweep.
Wait, invert that. Why does that look like ETH in 2023, man?
This.
Or 2022?
Oh, I know. I see what you're saying, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get schizo. Let me see this.
ETH, put it on the weekly or something, and then leave it. Don't flip it. Yeah.
Oh my.
Let's go a little lower.
Almost like the raise in USDT market cap is correlated with Bitcoin and USDC with ETH.
So are you saying, Tommy, like right here?
I mean, I don't know if it's going to play out what ETH did, but what I can definitely see from these two charts is that ETH has gone up with the appreciation of, or rather like with that USDC chart inverted
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. I don't have like a causation, but
I mean, I'm happy to. I mean, dude, if we did this next, oh my goodness, face ripper. That'd be so bullish.
It's interesting to me that as that goes down, well, I guess maybe it shouldn't because USDC is probably just going into ETH.
Well, let's just do this. Let's put ETH right down below.
Yeah, it
If I
looks
had to
like
guess, if I had-
USDC is used to pump Ether, and Tether
Yes.
is used to pump Bitcoin.
yes, it's probably like Coinbase. Whenever they decide to get risk on, just swapping USDC out for ETH.
I don't hate this bearish retest right here. That's kind of nice.
That fits so much with the Ether chart.
Yeah, it does, because then ETH is at demand right here.
Max, I got it. I got it. Here. Hang on. I'm removing. I'm adding.
He Tommied
Meow.
me. That's insane
It-
that you just Tommied
it's
me
the-
like that.
That's what he's talking about. I know.
In
That's
the middle of drawing, I just get Tommied.
I'm sorry. I'll put you back on, but this I just wanted to. You see what I'm saying?
I do see
I'm
what you're saying.
I'm seeing a smiley face on the left.
I see McDonald's
Yeah.
Happy Meal, but not for ETH holders. Sorry, I said I wouldn't take any cheap shots after the intro, and I waited until the end of the
He
show.
couldn't resist.
We knew he was going to. It's okay.
It was a low hanging fruit.
It's conditioned behavior at this point.
So what if we make an assumption that ETH can come down here? Is that a fair assumption?
Yes.
Which would probably imply, I mean, well, market cap's increased a lot, but I mean, I can only assume like here.
Well, you have to keep in mind that the lower USDC dominance goes, right, the more multiples it is. So it's not like 1-to-1, and ETH could be higher then, because like from from 1% to go 50%, you just need to go to 0.5, and that will not look big optically on the upper chart, but it will be still 100% move.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
because I mean, let's look at USDC market cap. Obviously, we need to consider that, if this chart is going straight up, which it is, this chart gets distorted because it's showing it as like a percentage of the total crypto market cap. But when its market cap increases, it's not like a linear chart, right? It has another variable. So you are right to suggest, Jackus, like if this thing is moving up aggressively, then as long as it keeps moving up, a move back down even to here would send ETH to new highs because the market cap is higher. So
Yeah. I think they are just waiting for the rate cuts to deploy all that newly created stablecoins. That's for sure.
yeah, I mean it's a lot, man. That's billions,
Billions and billions and billions.
Because I mean, even look at this, right? Let's go down to like, oh crap. Go over here. Let's go to the daily. So ETH topped out. ETH topped right here. So like you can see the crosshairs right here. ETH tops right here. So since ETH dropped from 4K down to where it's at right now, there's been 20 billion in USDC minted. But ETH is down 60%. So either they're minting to collateralize generational shorts, or they're about to deploy like crazy.
Well, I hope it's the latter.
Me too.
Like,
That's sort of neat.
truly thinking about it, guys, like the only people left in this market have to be like die-hard believers.
It's like us and the market check audience. That's it. Everyone else is gone.
And Michael Saylor.
And Michael Saylor.
He's in a different market. He's in the Bitcoin market.
True.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this is probably a good place to wrap it up for today. So let's do our little spiel, Tommy. You ready?
I'm ready. Ready,
All right.
Freddie. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode today. We talked about, I mean, honestly, a lot of very different things. I feel like today, equity markets, stable coins, meme coins, Bitcoin and ETH. If you enjoyed the show, if you're interested in hearing more from the team, we've got a few things that we'd like to share with you before we send you on your merry way. Starting with what Max has pulled up, the BB terminal. Whether or not you are a lower time frame active trader, looking at some of the data that Max has displayed on the screen to be able to conquer this market's, very volatile and quick trending moves. Check out the BB terminal. It will be your go-to tool for the cycle, as well as if you are a long-term investor and soon even a meme coin trenches degen. We'll have the tool for you this cycle, and a lot of different sorts of data applications and tools for you to be able to do so. So check out the BB terminal, guys. We were nice enough to package this together with the premium Discord. If you want to hear more from the analysts, well, we have a great way for you to be able to do that. We get 4 to 5 hours of calls with our subscribers every single day, our intimate thoughts on the market in real time, and of course, even at times, our positioning. So if one or both of those products that I just mentioned interest you, we were, like I said, nice enough to package them together for you at discounted rates. If you are looking to hone your educational base or reach trading level mastery, not pictured on the screen, but still incredibly valuable, we've gotten amazing feedback from you guys, is the BB Academy. So if you're looking to learn from the team, maybe in a bit more of an intimate and individualized setting, that's going to be the product that I would definitely check out. And last but certainly not least, we have BB Wealth Management, which is an SEC registered hedge fund. If you are interested in having the team manage capital for you, we do have that option for you as well. And a reminder that we trade digital assets in a way that looks to capture their asymmetric history for upside returns while also balancing the downside risk posed in all financial markets. So if anything that I just said over the last 90 seconds resonated with you, check out the description below this video. We've got everything linked there. But yeah, we hope that you guys enjoyed Market Check. Oh my God. I saw this comment. It kind of threw me off while I was speaking 30 seconds ago. But yeah, I probably should have longed the X-ray stocks in hindsight. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show today. Market Check will be back for another episode tomorrow, just as we are live Monday through Friday. 11:15 a.m. is kind of our typical start time these days. So make sure to tune in if you enjoyed the show. We are live every day that the New York Stock Exchange is open. But of course, make sure to finish up your day with Market Talk and King Wabi, hosted through our Because Bitcoin X account, as well as Wabi's personal account. Wabi does a great job on these shows. And it's kind of the perfect way, in my opinion, to wrap up your day after the New York Stock Exchange has closed. But that is it from us, guys. Happy Liberation Day. I'm sure there's going to be. It seems like it's going to be a pretty crazy April, if the first 2 days are any indication. So we'll see what we get. We'll be here covering it all for you. But thanks again, as always, and of course, stay safe.